Recently, we published our first impressions of Dragonstorm Fantasy, and now with its official worldwide launch, it's time to see what this MMORPG has to offer. This is a mobile game with a fiercely competitive side to it. And while it might not suit everyone, it brings many interesting aspects to the table that definitely deserve your attention. But before I get into the specifics, allow me to direct you to this sponsored video from developer Goat Games, which offers a general breakdown and impressions of the game features, which hopefully give you a sense of what this game is all about. It's also important to dispel the stigma that mobile games have inherently bad touchscreen controls. On the contrary, there are quite a few Android emulators on PC that allow you to comfortably play most, if not all, mobile games without a hitch. I played this game on PC without any issues. So can you. That being said, let's dive right into the game. Dragonstorm Fantasy follows a formula that you'll surely find familiar, but with the unique feature that allows your human hero to transform into a dragon. Transformation into a divine dragon comes in handy because it gives your character incredible destructive potential. Dragonstorm Fantasy is available for free in the Play Store and App Store, having officially launched on December 5th. The download links are in the description, so be sure to check it out. And if you download this week using this link, you'll earn a free epic weapon when you reach level 30. You may be thinking, how long will it take to reach level 30? Well, here's the short answer. Less than half an hour. You see, in this game, you don't just gain levels, you eat levels for breakfast, and before you know it, you're already over level 100. It's crazy when you think about it, but unlike so many other games where you barely see any progress beyond level 40 or so, this game will always keep that green bar going. I've played well beyond level 250 and have barely scratched the surface. Not to mention there are world bosses requiring a level 700 character to challenge. Now that milestone's going to keep you glued to the game. Let's talk classes first. There are 3 classes to choose from, and your selection is only limited by gender. Here's the focus on the Divine Dragons and what they add to the game. Among the classes, the choice of the Archer is a plus for me, as this is the type of class that I usually go for, given my preference for ranged combat over the more dangerous melee action. The other classes are the Warrior and the Mage, each having unique introductions highlighting the dragon transformation, which adds a nice touch of style and choice of roles. Like I said before, you can transform into a unique divine dragon, choosing your favorite as you unlock new creatures and upgrading them in the process. There are several to choose from, with each respective dragon representing the powers of frost, fire, light, darkness, life, time, and space. In dragon form, or more specifically in a hybrid human dragon form, you get new skills that deliver exponentially more devastating effects on your foes. The dragon can be used for roughly 15 seconds, but it's always worth transforming as it can be crucial to deal that extra damage. The first dragon that I got was the Divine Dragon of Frost. This dragon increases damage to nearby targets and slows them down. With its ice-based attacks, such as Ice Cone or Cold Spur, it can deal damage to several foes. The next dragon you get is the Dragon of Life, represented by an elf dressed in green, capable of dealing damage, but also recovering a part of your health during the incarnation period. The early levels don't pose much of a challenge, feeling more like an expended tutorial that gradually unlocks feature after feature, teaching you the ropes and describing every single way that you can level up your character. The UI shows you dozens of ways in which you can level up your character, with options neatly divided into every area that you can think of. Companions, divine dragons, mounts, the forge, wings, skills, and so much more, including events, dungeons, and the story mode. There's always something to see and do, but you can also collapse a few options or enter photo mode to see the graphics in their full glory. The forge, for instance. This is where you check your equipped gear and enhance it. You have different gear tiers with diverse stats such as attack, health, or defense, and you can upgrade it using whetstones. The higher the tier, the cooler the aura effect looks on your character. This is one of the ways for high-level characters to showboat, as their gear has this shine that doesn't go unnoticed. It's pretty cool, to be honest. To move around, you get a few mounts that are either armored to the core or just plain fear-inducing. You'll probably begin with a war goat or a war horse, But you have other cool creatures such as Velociraptor, a Peko Peko that looks like a deadly chocobo from the Final Fantasy series, a behemoth, or a massive griffin, among others. While these mounts don't actively participate in combat, feeding them contributes to your overall battle power, and they also have star rankings to gain. Companions, on the other hand, aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and stand by your side during battle. A cute fairy is probably going to be your first companion, but a fire maiden or the aptly named Queen of Pain are surely going to be more helpful. In case you're wondering about how you'll manage to remain competitive against paying players, because that is a reality we all must accept, well, there are ways to do so if you're not in a rush. Besides the myriad of challenges and events that you get in this game, you also gain experience while offline. The AFK mode allows you to stay competitive even if you're not online, since you'll earn experience, gold, and an assortment of items without any worries. You may come across a high-tier gear that you were hoping to find, or a valuable item that's going to give you another nice character power boost. The way that your experience builds while offline is a guarantee that your power is always increasing and paves the way for clashes with foes that seemed too powerful just a while ago. The AFK mode works even when you're not, well, AFK, and you just need to collect the rewards whenever you feel like it. You can get rewards for up to 12 hours, and there's a handy icon that gradually fills with riches to let you know how much loot and XP you have to collect. The bigger your power, the better the rewards, and it's cool to check in the next day to see that your heroes gained a few experience levels and found a few good items for you. With the resources that you've earned, both offline and online, you can head over to the auction house and start a thriving business. Since the game regularly drops rare items, you can sell the surplus to other players for a fee that you set. Besides, you can pick any item that you're looking for, including, but not limited to, crystals, mounts, companions, relics, and even divine dragons. There are many solo PvE dungeons where you can gain experience, most of them offering you different kinds of rewards. The main story will take you through a preset route, but you can enter other dungeons whenever you want to, normally with a limited number of daily entries. You'll invest through the usual mobs, often ending up with a huge boss that poses the real challenge. These dungeons are usually brief, and you can reap the rewards in less than 5 minutes or so. The Divine Dragon Tower is the endless tower where you fight boss after boss, earning glyphs in the process. These glyphs are going to give your dragons a nice boost to some stats such as defense, attack, or health. In some boss battles, there's a competitive mechanic where players who last hit the boss get all the loot. I don't know what you make of that, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a divisive feature. If I'm the one ending up with the best shot, then who am I to complain? Anyway, Baal is the level 700 boss that I previously mentioned, a devilish creature that may drop a tier 16 chest, but also a special boss chest for the player who dealt the most damage during the battle. Dragonstorm Fantasy is the kind of game where your objective is clear from the very beginning. You'll get to create or join a guild and participate in massive PvP battles. With your teammates, you can build the guild's power through various means, including upgrading buildings, contributing to the guild with donations, and ultimately taking your guild to the top of the leaderboard. Any equipment that you have sitting around, feel free to place in the guild's warehouse, and picking up any piece in exchange for guild points. But guilds aren't only about trading gear and having a good time chatting. There are server versus server and world versus world battles for you to challenge, with some of these modes featuring 10,000 versus 10,000 battles. Can you picture the size of those? World bosses are one of the events where every player must cooperate, aiming to defeat a colossus creature. These massive battles will leave you breathless as dozens of players simultaneously unleash their powers. The higher the damage, the better rewards you'll get, and the player that lands the last hit will get an additional reward as well. This is perfect to test your skills, but the rewards are also incredibly alluring, creating some friendly competition within the guild itself. In the Eternal Battle mode, you're asked to open chests with your guildmates to get rare items, while engaging other players from rival guilds who are looking to do the same. As soon as the boss spawns, it's time to join forces to take it down, at least in theory, because you should spot some treacherous players who chose to attack you instead of dealing with the bigger threat. It's all about strategy and personal gain, so don't be fooled by a potentially dangerous timed truce. There are some exclusive guild PvE events, such as a party activity, where you and your guildmates will drink to earn experience and items. Other guild events are less about frolicking around and more about defending your statue from monsters. The arena is where you can test your skill in real-time PvP battles, challenging other players. You get to choose your rival from a small selection, skipping easier fights. When you find a worthy opponent, you enter the arena and must use your skills the best you can to win the fight and climb the rankings. During PvP, you can and should use the dragon transformation in a timely manner to deal more damage, as your normal form just won't cut it. Dragon Storm Fantasy is fiercely addictive, aimed at those who love competition and teaming up with other players to become the best guild in the game. If you want to show your potential and take a shot at the top rankings, give it a go by using the link in the video description, the same one that's going to earn you a free epic weapon. I'll leave you today with some additional Dragon Storm Fantasy gameplay, and I'll see you next time.